So hello guys, it's me Adi from Pixel Creations and welcome to the Borisfx Sapphire series. This is going to be the first video, and in this one we'll see how to use the Sapphire plugin to create the lens flare effect and the rays effect inside of After Effects. So without wasting further time, let's jump right into it. So for this one, this is the video clip I'm going to use to show you both the effect, the rays and the lens flare in a one single clip. You can see this is the video, and actually this was 3 seconds long, and I used the Premiere Pro's generative expand to expand it more further to 5 seconds. So that's not an issue. Now let's add the rays effect to this one. If you search rays, there's a lot of rays in this one, and for this one I'm going to use the Sapphire one, the one that comes with the Borisfx Sapphire plugin. If you want, the link is always in the description. And now let's drag and drop the effect onto a clip, and you can see on the left side inside the effects control, and if your effects control is not there or not showing or missing, you can enable it through the Windows option. And inside this you can see a lot of parameters and options in here, including the load preset, save preset, edit in Mocha that we're going to use later in this video. So first, as a first step, let's increase the rays length to this much. So this is the anchor point, guys, or in Sapphire terms this is called the center point. This is what you're going to use to define the light source, so that the rays gets its angle adjusted as per the light source you are defining. So for this one, let's assume the light is coming from this area, because the brighter part is right here. If you disable it, you can see comparatively the brighter part is right here and the shadows is falling on this side. So let's assume the sun is right here. Now let's enable the effect, and you can see the rays is already now good, looking good. And now let's explore the options one by one. This is the center part. If you don't want to use this anchor point, yes, just use these options to move it more precisely. And this is the sender uses Mocha. That option we're going to explore later when we're going to use Mocha. And this also same. This is the race length, and if you want, you can also increase the length using this circle or the outer circle. And this is some of other individual channel options. The reverse race, which will show the race backwards, and this is the race brightness, the master controller for the brightness. And this is the blurring of rays that we're going to use. Now let's use it to blur it all the way to 65, I guess that will be perfect, and increase the length all the way right here. Okay, and if you want, you can use this color picker box and change to whatever color you like. And you can also use the color picker tool to select whatever color you want. For example, in this one, let's try picking this red. Okay, the color picker just picks some of the lighter version of the white. No problem, you can use it to pick whatever color is on your screen. And in this one, you can see it's kind of the invert option in rays. You can see this part got brighter and this part got lighter. So let's change it back to the default value. And the rays resolution, if you want, for the preview you can use the half or quarter version before going all the way to the full, but I'm going to leave it on the full. And next you can see the threshold. The lesser the threshold, the higher will be the rays. You can see it already burned the screen. Let's change it back to the default value, or just change it to somewhere around 60 to 100 and increase the brightness, or else just change it to 2.3 and 5200 and increase the blur to 71. That's perfect. And you can see the skimmer option. The skimmer is the lines that appear within the rays. If you want, I can show you. Let's increase this one, the skimmer frequency. By changing the skimmer frequency, I think you can already see the changes. Yeah, exactly that one. You can see certain gaps appearing within the rays, and you can use the seed to change how it looks. If you play a quick preview, you can see. And you can also add keyframes, and you can see some of the other options and the atmosphere option, etc., that we are not going to use. That is some of the advanced option, and if you want, we can discuss all of those in a separate video, not in this one. And now let's come to the load preset option. Inside the presets, there is a lot of presets that is coming from the developer side. You can see some of the fancy ones, including one of the useful, the cloud, like the noise version, and the cloud rays, some of the color version, the color version with some of the fancy stuffs. If you want, you can experiment with all of these to make your clip all look better. I'm just going with the default values. And now let's track and place the center point to the source, that is our sun, because the video is moving and we have to track the sun. Okay, now let's go to the edit in Mocha option. So this is the Sapphire version of Mocha Pro, and there's not that much option that we see in regular version of Mocha Pro. And you can see there's a two pre-made options right here. This is the one you're going to use to search the area for tracking, and this is the center point. This is the anchor point that we discussed. That is the hotspot of the sun rays, and we're going to place it right here. And using this circle right here, we're going to track and place it right there. If you want, if your video is having some skew or perspective motion, you can enable this one also. For this one, there is nothing like that. So let's place it right there and track it forward and backward. And like that, we have just finished tracking. And you can see now our source of sun is sticking right in its source. And after that, if you are satisfied with your results, just save it, just save right here in Mocha and close it. Now after that, if even if you move it anywhere, that doesn't matter. If you are using Mocha, just click sender uses Mocha and you will be good to go. This one now let's become useless, and you can see our race has been tracked just like that. Now we are done with race. Now let's go to this lens flare effect. For the time being, I'm just going to disable the effect and let's search for the lens flare. For the ease, I'm going to use the s underscore lens flare just right here and drag and drop it on your scene. So similar to the previous one, you can see a lot of options including the load preset, the save preset, edit lens. That's one of the important option, and I'm going to show you guys that in detail later in this video. So let's first explore the presets. So for the lens flare, you can see on the bottom left, you can see the 165 presets are there inside of this Sapphire. And if I start to show you each and everything, this tutorial is going to be so long. I'm just going to show you some of the effects faster. You can see there's a lot of options, 165 options right here. And even you can choose any one of these and edit each and every individual aspect of this lens flare, including this one, the main hotspot, and each and everything. And you can even add your own if you want. For this particular video, I'm going to use this summer whale, this one, and after selecting it, click load. So this is the lens flare that we are going to use for this video. So as we selected earlier, our sun is right here. Let's assume our sun is right here and just place it here. And in this one also, you can use the edit Mocha to track and place it right here. But in for this video, I'm not going to use that Mocha for this lens flare. And you can see the lens flare is also showing in the darker areas, or it's also showing in the areas that it is not supposed to be. So in order to fix that, you can see an option called occlusion from layer. And in this one, just from the drop down menus, just select your layer, and just like that, you can see now that is fixed. But we cannot see it anywhere. So in order to fix that, just expand the occlusion tab. Oh my god, where's yeah, right here. From the inside the occlusion tab, just change it to Luma and just invert the occlusion. You can see now it is showing in the brighter areas, but it is automatically hiding or just going off in the darker areas. Now let's assume our sun was right here and place it on the edge. And when the lens flare is coming to the screen, you can see the entire screen is turning blue or whatever color you selected. So in order to fix that issue, just come all the way down in that effect, and within the performance tab, change it from full flare to priority only. And just like that, you can see now our color is back and the light lens flare is also visible. So for this one, I'm going to change the gamma by a little bit. If you want, you can also blur. I'm just going to blur it by a little bit. Let's change this lens flare to a slighter version of orange. A slighter version, okay. And now let's explore the edit lenses. This is the main option in the Sapphire plugin. You can see this option in various effects, and you can see we got the hotspot, the inner spot, the main spot, secondary spot, and just like that, each and every aspect of this effect. If you just hover over it, you can see the effect is the particular thing is getting highlighted. For the hotspot, you can see this turn off option. You can individually change, even if you want, you can just turn off the hotspot, and now only the lens flare is visible, just like this one. Let's enable it, and within the hotspot you can see various things, and within the inner spots you can see various things. The each and every individual channel is also there. the main sport, the haze, the outer trigger, the edge flash. I mean, literally, guys, the Sapphire plugin is the end boss of this lens flare and all the lighting effects. You can even individually adjust and edit each and every one of these. And if you think you want an extra like sun rays or the outer circle or anything, you can just click and right here, just adjust it as per you want and just edit it. That's all, that easy. That is Sapphire is pretty much easy in everything. So for this one, I'm just going to leave all of those in the default values. Just click cancel, and you can see here you are also getting the edit in Mocha option. Just like the previous one, you are getting a main search area, the hotspot, and this is the pivot search area and pivot point. You can individually track the pivot and the hotspot separately. Okay, for this one I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to close the Mocha, don't save. And for this one I'm going to the first frame, and I assume the sun is right here. You can see we are getting a slight of layer lens flare right there. And when we play the video, let's change it to full screen and fit to the screen. You can see the lens flare is visible, but the lens flare is a little too bright in this part. So in order to fix that, let's go to the occlusion softness and just increase it by a slight. You can also adjust the flicker option so that the lens flare just don't stay in static motion. You can change the flicker amp to 2, the flicker speed to 3, and you can see you will get some of this animation like this, the flickering animation of the lens flare, which adds some realism to your video. Now let's go to the raise brightness and decrease the raise brightness by 0.80 and just turn it back to the 1, and you can see now it's perfect. Now let's enable both of the effect, the sun rays and the lens flare. I'm going to place it over the rays. Okay, I think that's perfect. Now let's change it to full screen, change it to fit. Let's play it. And just like that, we just added the lens flare and rays effect and added some depth to our video, and it's looking realistic. So that's how you use the Sapphire plugin to add some realism to your video inside of the After Effects. So this is only just the two of the effects from a large library of the Sapphire. You can see there's a lot of option right here. The blur, sharpen, builder, these all are the just category, and within this there's a lot of option. And the Sapphire build. Oh, wait a second, I saw that somewhere. The Sapphire builder. Sapphire builder is like just like the base effect. You can add and just build whatever you want. We'll explore that in a whole separate video. And if you have any doubt regarding this effect or the Sapphire plugin, just don't hesitate to comment down below. I'll reply to everyone. And that's it for today, guys. If you find it useful, please make sure to drop a like and don't forget to subscribe this channel. And if you want the link to the Sapphire plugin or any of the Borisfx plugins, the link is always in the description, and you can use the link to get a flat 10% off on any of the Borisfx plugins for any of the host. So that's it for today, guys. See you in the next one. Until then, have a creative day.